Hello students, warm greetings to you. And so far we have seen about the basics of business communication. What is business communication? What is the business process, business communication process? And what are the elements involved in the business communication process? Again, we have seen some of the principles we are supposed to focus on whenever you go for what do I say, drafting a business letters or things like this. We have seen it. And again, we also seen the various components of a business letter format. Right? So business letter layout, we have seen it. Okay, so now we are getting into the main context of this particular certificate course. That is mastering the skills of various business letters that are being written both inside the organization and also the outside the organization. And again, and also about the various job-oriented communications, right? So that is how we have just planned it. And now we are going to start with the various business letters that are being written outside the organization. Okay, so from the organization, from the company, we'll be writing a lot of letters to for different stakeholders for different purposes. Like, okay, when you want to have some products, you may be going for some inquiry, or after the inquiry, you may go for placing some orders, and maybe with the order you may face some problems, so maybe you will be placing some complaint letters, or sometimes you may go for adjustments. So these are things that happens with when you go for outside. Sometimes you also get some outside communication for you also, right? So you are running a company, you are also having some product. Some people may inquire to you, so maybe of your, about your products, about your services, and for them, you are supposed to reply. Okay, so you have to give the reply to the inquiry letter. You have to reply to the order letter. You have to reply to the complaint letter. You have to reply to any communication that is being pointed to you from the outside also. Right. So in that sense, as MBA guy, you should have what are the different forms of letters that are being written from the outside communication, and how we are suppose the same communication if we are receiving now, how we are supposed to answer that. Okay, so that things we have to master it. Okay, so here we are going to have some idea or tips. Okay, so these are tips. This is a guidance. This is some basic principle. That's it. If these things are there, this letter will be nice. So that is what we are just planning here. And apart from that, sometimes you have to customize it according to your requirement. Okay? You have to plan according to your taste, your style, and probably your what do you say, your expectations of the company. Those things are you have to include it. But normally, whenever you are writing any type of this type of letters, you should ensure that these basic things are being there in that particular inquiry letter. It is not a compulsory that these things only should be there in inquiry letter, or this thing should not be left out in this letter. It's not like that. It's not a what I say. Any stringent formula is not there. But if these things are there, that particular letter may be a more effective than without these principles or tips or things about, right? Okay, so now today we are going to have some idea about the inquiry letter. Okay, so the inquiry letter, it is a communication between the both the buyer and seller. Right? Okay, so as you deem that you want to buy something, from some company. So what you are going to do is you are just going to place an inquiry to that particular company. Even in the first, when I asked you to submit the assignment, also you have just submitted. An assignment. Hypothetically, you made some inquiries, things like that. It's really good. You have done a good job, and what are the things that should be covered in the inquiry letter? You have covered it. And now let us have a complete framework. What is inquiry letter? What are the different components should be there in inquiry letter? And what tools we are supposed to master? Just we can have some basic tips. Okay. So when you see the meaning of inquiry letters or the business letters. Okay. Normally this is a business letter written by the prospective buyers to the prospective sellers. Okay, so I'm a prospective buyer, and he is a potential seller. He is a prospective seller. He has some product what I need of. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I want to know about certain details about the particular product. Okay, so when I want to have some details of the product, maybe product features, product price, product availability, what are the terms and conditions after the survey, so many things I may be looking for one before I buy a product. Okay, so when I want to know about those information, because I have to buy the particular product, I want to know more information about that. So you are placing an inquiry letter with the particular prospective seller. Okay, so that's it here. So it is written by the prospective buyer to the prospective sellers. Okay, and when a buyer wants to know about certain details about the product, he or she writes the inquiry letter to the seller. Very simple. Okay, when you want to know some information about one particular thing, you are going to write a inquiry letter. Okay, how that inquiry letter should be, then now let us see here. Okay, so tips for writing an inquiry letter, basically. First step is the inquiry letter should be very clear, complete, correct, and specific about your purpose. Of course, please bear it in mind that whatever the seven C's we have looked upon, whatever the seven, I mean the principle, principles of effective communication, that principles are applied for any type of letter and every type of business letters. Okay, so without saying, all this principle must be applied over here, and you should ensure that the inquiry letter is well organized and has direct approach. Okay, you should not go for blah 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 that. No, straight away. Okay, this is what I want. This is what the information I'm just looking for it. So see to that you have a direct approach, and you should give the details about you to the seller. It's a more important thing. Okay, start from here. Okay, who are you, and why you are looking for information of that particular product. Okay, other thing you should say that. Simply, you cannot start that. Okay, please give me the details of your product, what you are selling. Okay, thank you. You should not say like that. You got to say that. Okay, so I am so and so from this so organization. We are dealing with so product and services for our purpose. Your product is being required. Okay, so you have to start like that. Okay, so keep it in mind that in the inquiry letter you have to give the details. Okay, basic details of yours. Of course, in the sample letter, what some of you have written, your statement started with the same things, right? It's good. Okay, so giving information about yourself and then start the inquiry letter always gets you the good results. Okay, so you should give the details about your what do you say yourself, and you should state how you got the details about the seller. Okay, again that also you have to mention it. Okay, so I am so and so, and I came to know about you through this particular media, through this particular advertisement, through the particular directory, through the particular source, or a friend of mine have referred your thing, or your sales executive has approached me, and we came to know about you. Okay, so all these things first you have to start with. Okay, so you are giving the basic information about you, and you are stating that how you got the details about the seller. Okay, and you have to just ensure that the tone of the letter should not be arrogant at the same time, no need to be too belittling. Okay, should not, there's no need for you to be so authoritative in your letter. Okay, for example, okay, so we are the number one, pioneer one. Of course, you will not. You be understanding our own position, power. You should be boast of. You should be pride of dealing with us or selling your product to us. Okay, so those things are should be avoided. Okay, whether small or big, he also has his own dignity. He also has his own what do you say? His own power in his own arena. Okay, so in that sense, there is no need for you to be so arrogant. At the same time, there is no need for you to be so belittling also. Okay, so my tone should not be arrogant. So I must be so what do you say? What do you say? Humble. That is the so thinking that you are very humble, you should not go for belittling yourself. Belittling the sense and the sway pachadabam is so long. Okay, so you should not have that. What do you say? Okay, sir, I give an example here. No, okay, should I say use the words like sir, I beg you to send the details. It will be a great help and it is a great magnanimity of yourself and you are the God, Messiah. All these things should not be that. Okay, so formal letter, when you're making a formal inquiry, see to that neither it should be arrogant nor it should be belittling. Okay, it should have the direct approach and you should mention, what I say, your own details. Okay, your own details first and you should mention that how you got the details of that particular seller or vendors. Okay. And further, the tone of the letter should be positive and express confidence. Again, please understand that our ultimate purpose is to elicit or to get the information from the prospective seller. Okay, so he has the information and you are in need of it. Further, you are taking an effort. When you take an effort, you should get the positive results. When you want to get the positive results and what are the things you want to get it, okay, in the communication process, that's what we have seen it. Whenever you're making a communication, you should see to that for what purpose the communication is made, the objective must be met, the purpose must be met. So here, when you're making an inquiry, you need a complete information. You need a cordial, what do you say, a relationship with the seller. Sometimes your way of communicating, your way of inquiry may make the seller to buy the, to sell the product or to you first. That is giving preference to you, right? So that is how our motto should be there. Okay, so when you want to get all these results, you should ensure that, and what are the possible ways? Okay, so being humble and being very positive and giving in as a pleasant manner and expressing the confidence and giving you the confidence that you are one of the prospective buyer, you have your own thing. So that thing should be mentioned or ensured in your letter. Okay, and again, don't give too much of what I say information, avoid some lengthy or unnecessary details and statements. There is no need for them to just when you're giving a detail like this. Okay, sir, we are the number one. We are the manufacturing this product, and our clients are there in Malaysia. Our clients are there in Afghanistan. So all this information is not necessary to them. Basically, they want to know about you. That's it. And beyond that, don't give the unnecessary details. Okay, though it is factually correct, but it is not necessary to give that. You got to be very concise. You have to be very precise when you are dealing with the things, right? And in your inquiry letter, you should be very clear about your intention and quantity of purchase. That also you have to be very good. Okay, just like that, or in generalistic form, you should not state that. Okay, we want to buy the. I mean, we want to buy the your product. Okay, for example, yesterday's example I gave. I mean, we have seen about the refrigerators. Simply, you should not say that we want to buy the refrigerators. So give us the information. No, if possible, you try to figure out it. Okay, so this is all the quantity we are going to purchase. For example, we are going to purchase some 10, we are going to purchase some 15, we are going to purchase this. See, only when you say like this, and those people could be able to just quote their best price to you. Okay, they could be able to give the best offer to you. Okay, for example, you want to purchase some 100 refrigerators. When you are 100 refrigerators, you are the bulk buyer. As a bulk buyer, they will give some concession. They will give some what is it, a different quotation for you. The same quotation will not give for the both for 100 refrigerator buyers and 5 refrigerator buyers. Okay, so that is how. So if at all you want to make your incubator more effective, see to that you are being very specific about the quantity of purchase you are going to make. You are going to. It is a probable. Okay, it is a probable things you want to have that you are just giving some idea to the potential seller. Okay. And this will help the sellers to offer you the best price, as I said earlier. When you say that why you want to purchase and how much you want to purchase, that will give them an idea for them to offer a best price to you. Then, if you're asking for special offer and concession, you should give supporting reasons for the same. And again, that also you have to you can mention. Okay, so see, we are going to be the biggest buyer of your product, bulk purchases. We want to have a large quantity. Also, you can say that we are going to be the regular buyers. If your products are good and if you are satisfied with your product, and who knows that we'll be continue to buy from you only. Okay, that is also you can just go for that. Okay, so giving some special offer and a concession if you're looking for now, you have to give the supporting reasons so that they can, what I say, offer you the best information, best quotation to you. Then avoid the repetition of the information, the details in the inquiry letter. Okay, so again, in the first paragraph also you have just mentioned about you and you want to buy how much quantity. The same information should not be repeated in the last also. Okay, the first you said that we want to buy some 100, and again you are just saying that we want to buy another 100. Okay, so again please send the quotation so that we buy 100. If you are repeating one particular information, that may not be a good effective communication. Okay, so avoid repetition of the information details in the inquiry letter. Okay, so these are some of the tips. Apart from going with the formal layout, okay, what are the things you are going to return? The formal layout, you have to go for it. And what are the components should be there in the specific format that should be ensured, and all the principles that must be kept in mind. And apart from that, in the inquiry letter, you should understand that inquiry letters are being made in order to solicit information from the prospective buyer. So, sorry, prospective seller by the prospective buyer. Okay, as a buyer, you want to get information from the prospective seller. For that purpose only, you are writing the inquiry letter. When you're writing the inquiry letter, you should ensure that all the 7 C's are being followed. All the effective principles of a business communication are being followed in your letter. And the letter is written in the specific format by incorporating all the basic components of your letter. And along with that, you should give the basic information about yourself. You should ensure that you should give the basic information, I mean, yourself, and you should ensure that how you have got the information from that particular about the particular seller also, and then you should see to that your letter tone is very positive. It gives the expressing the confidence, and you should not be neither arrogant nor should be belittling, and try to avoid the lengthy and unnecessary details, and all these things will make your enquiry letter more, what I say, effective than others. Okay, my dear friends, so this is what an enquiry letter about it, and in the next class we will say a sample letter, and we will just have the discussion what are the things can be done in an enquiry letter. Okay, so thank you very much. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you, friends.